If I'm being completely honest, I am very embarrassed of my digital footprint.
This is what real empathy looks like, iDubbbz.
Starting beef with random people made me feel powerful.
That's fair. Makes you feel good, and then you get a little older, and you're like, man, like, I'm hurting some people's feelings.
The viewers and money gave me more confidence than I really knew what to do with.
I feel that. Can't help. It's nice to do well.
Around this time, there was a popular YouTube channel that close friends of mine really did not like.
Are we doing SuperMegs now?
This video is about me. I do not feel like anyone involved in this story deserves to have it brought up again.
I appreciate the sentiment that he's like, hey, this is just about telling my story. I really don't want to get involved in the drama. It seems like this entire video is just him kind of talking his shit out with the internet in a way that he feels is productive.
And as someone who would pretty much put all of his self-worth into his online presence, this pretty much broke me harder than anything that I had experienced.
This guy got caught up in a very toxic cycle of just kind of being a bully on the internet. And how long do you think that lasts? And so sometimes all I can really take you out of that mindset is to get your handed to you, and then you go, huh, it might take you a while, but this guy might be able to pull through and have a productive career. All right, guys, this looks interesting. Nick is not green, green is not Nick, whatever. He hasn't been around for like a year. I looked at all of his other stuff. It's been like a year. This is the same channel, but this is a year. This is 2 years. This is a gaming channel. This is 9 months. This is a year. So he's been kind of in hibernation. Could you imagine? I wonder what he's doing now. I wonder if he has to work or if he collected enough money to just take a whole year off. Could you imagine doing that? Could you imagine taking a whole year off? Right? Not like that guy in Boardwalk Empire. No, the other one. Reservoir Dogs. He took a whole ear off. It's a good joke, guys. Clap for that one. Anyway, I'm curious. It's called Haunted by My Digital Footprint. Same? Let's do it, dude. Same? Let's go.
Listen, if I'm being completely honest, I am very embarrassed of my digital footprint. I feel like it haunts me wherever I go. The content I have left.
Listen, if they're not, this is something that you guys should all keep in mind. Okay, about your digital footprint, because even if you're not a creator, you have a crazy digital footprint probably. You don't know what you liked. You accidentally liked some kind of fucking femboy goth girl, or you liked some kind of hairy sweaty woman, or you liked some kind of, you know, older MILF, or you liked some kind of futa, or you like some kind of anime. You know what I mean? You like something crazy. If they're not embarrassed, why should you be? Why should you be embarrassed? If they're not embarrassed, they don't seem to be. I mean, one of them isn't really hanging around anymore, but the other one seems that he's not embarrassed. So, it's a little bit of advice to you guys. It's a little advice for you guys. If you're not, you know what I'm saying? What the hell? I just saw this guy's hair. It's the same guy. It's wild.
Left behind in my past is not something that is easy for me to look at. I ended up going crazy because of it, and I made this entire timeline of everything I've ever posted on the internet.
This guy, it's so funny because he actually developed empathy, because he made some of his content, what I would say is like was way too like left, and it ended up being like very toxic and just like shitty and cancelly, and all that kind of exploded with the SuperMega stuff. And so he's probably just like been looking back and be like, oh man, how cringe was this, that, the other thing. Well, so I get that, but this is what real empathy looks like, iDubbbz.
Well, I mean, it's like half of the videos I posted. I would not shut up. Like, someone's gotta put a muzzle on this guy. Now, why did I do this? Why am I showing it to you? Why does this video exist? I do just have a really weird history online, and I want to be able to kind of document it all in one place. But also, after years...
Probably a good idea to, I guess, make this while you already made the video, and just move on. Move on, dude. Talk about something else, you know what I mean? Make some content again. I have a hair in my mouth. Wow, incredible.
Of YouTubing, I've said and done a lot of dumb stuff.
Not me.
And it really embarrasses me to be attached to my name and my face. So for some reason, I felt like mapping out my journey up until now would just like help me come to terms with my past and just move on from it and stop caring so much. Honestly, this thing sucked to make. It took a really long time. It was very emotionally taxing. I hope it's worth it. Also, I don't think you necessarily need to know who I am.
I don't know if it's worth it. I feel like there's only so much you really need to talk about your shit and just kind of move forward. You know, you don't have, not everybody else needs to see you articulate, you know, what you feel is your growth. Sometimes you could just sometimes you could just have some personal growth and not worry about it. You know, don't even worry about it, brother. Don't even worry about it, brother man.
or know about me to take something away from the video. I would just enjoy the ride. And also remember that this video is about me and my story. It's all about me. So do not bother anyone else that I mentioned in this video. I'll
bother everybody mentioned in this video, guys.
I'll freak out. All right, let's just start at the beginning then. When I was younger and YouTube was just starting to get popular, my parents always told me to never put my face on the internet.
Smart.
If you showed your face on YouTube in 2010, you were going to be kidnapped at the least. So when I was 11, my friend and I started a drawing channel, and of course I took all of the proper precautions to ensure that I would not be a victim of kidnapping.
Yeah. Can you get kidnapped once you're an adult? Like, how does that work? Are you allowed to get kidnapped anymore, or did they call it something else?
Guys, this is Nick. We're going to show you how to draw Rigby from Cartoon Network's new show, Regulation. Hey guys, today...
Damn, new show? That show's still new? Wow, maybe I'm just really old. What's up, baby love?
We're going to draw Rigby from Regulation.
How to Draw Rigby was my first YouTube video, and it was
That's so beautiful.
a massive success. At least, like, views-wise. The comments did not like us very much.
Damn. They're right, though. It's not that good. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, a few years later, when I was a sophomore in high school, I was in a video production class taught by my favorite teacher, who was just outed as a child predator a couple
Wow. Incredible.
months ago. Now, most of these videos never saw the public eye, but one
Kind of base, dude. Not really. That's horrible.
that did was a music video I made for a song by my favorite band, 21 Pilots. Now, I loved this band so much that I was getting bullied for it in high school.
We are 21 Pilots, and so are you.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of deserved with that one, buddy.
And a couple years later, I ended up making a
crazy.
YouTube channel devoted to 21 Pilots, edits, and mashups.
Wow.
Yes, I am the guy who made Ode to Soulja Boy. Please hold your applause until the end of the video. And I also liked posting
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. What the fuck? Ode? What the fuck is Ode to Soulja Boy? What the fuck? I can finally get rid of Pirate Booty.
music that I made online. I had a song that came out in 2017 with my high school band, second grade. And in college, I made music with my brother under the name Denton, and we put out some albums and some videos.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I honestly just wanted to drop out of college and make music, but I really was not that good at it. So I just got a degree in audio
You should have kept it up, man. Maybe you would have been. I don't know. I'm just being silly.
engineering, and I never used the degree for anything. So I was in college when the pandemic started, and I used all my time inside to start a weekly YouTube channel, which is something I wanted to do for a really long time. It was called Nickisnotgreen, and it was devoted
Why Nick is not green? You know,
to talking about video games and music, which was two things that I enjoyed. Now, despite the
I
fact
just don't understand the not green part. That's one I'm not really understanding. That's what I don't get.
that I had like 100 subscribers, I spent more time working on these videos than I did on my videos once I was doing YouTube full time. And I had this thing where I really loved making like little music videos and making little songs that would go in the videos. Skating with Jesus, I'm getting distressed.
I'm skating with Jesus. Wow. That's incredible. That's a beautiful thing.
Start thinking that might be a solution. Maybe add a gaming law inside the Constitution.
Boys wanna say they game. Lisbon with the correct name. No MK crash, no Forza.
Game was not successful and reviewers called it lame.
I feel like stop, you know? Like, I don't need to see this. Are you trying to see if where he's like, oh man, this is one of those things where he's like, this is old. This is old, so it's like, oh man, if I put up my cringe, people may not make fun of me because it's so old, right? But it's like, I don't know, dude. I feel like you're trying to tease and be like, oh, is this good?
I'm not sure where I got the confidence to do this kind of shit at the ripe age of 21, but I thought it was worth watching, apparently.
Based.
However, one of my greatest accomplishments was when I made a Minecraft parody of Yummy by Justin Bieber for a video I was making about the history of Minecraft parody songs.
Sounds great.
Yeah, you got that zombie pig, that zombie pig, that zombie pig. Yeah, you got that zombie pig, that zombie pig, that zombie pig.
Grab your swords, make up puddle. Yes, Steve, yes, Steve, yes, Steve.
I may be embarrassed of a lot
Bro, stop putting so much of it up. It's fucking killing me.
of my past, but Zombie Pig, I'll show Zombie Pig to anybody anytime I get the chance.
I could tell, bud.
That zombie pig, whoa, whoa. Yeah, you got
I got bored and
All right, that was pretty good.
started making a lot of little musical comedy sketches for a while, which kind of led me away from YouTube and had me trying out TikTok. You guys know TikTok, right?
I've never heard of TikTok, guys. I wonder if anybody you guys know has ever been big on TikTok.
If her name ends in the letter A and it sounds like my brother, do yourself a favor
Yeah.
and wife her up right now.
So true, King.
Now, quick tip for any aspiring creators out there, but if you have a concept that's not necessarily funny enough for a comedy video,
What am I supposed
just
to do?
turn it into a song and it will disguise the fact that the video is not really that funny in the first place.
How the hell does cat talk cool?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, around this time, I was getting close to graduating college, and I did not know what I was going to do with my life. And so I decided to make TikToks asking some of my favorite YouTubers to hire me.
Can you please give me a job? I'm living pretty close to your old acres.
You think that they ever? You think you ever tried to work for Caleb Hammer?
I like your hair.
I really don't
I feel like that's a lie.
know why I thought making like gay little songs for grown men.
Did you say gay little songs? That's based.
I like your hair.
I really don't know why I thought making like gay little songs for grown men
That's based as fuck.
would help me find a career, but they seemed to get a little bit of attention, so I felt like I was doing something right. Now, I kept making dumb songs on TikTok, and one of them was one where I said that I played the baby who is the son in Teletubbies, the Teletubby son baby.
Is that true? Chad, is this true that he played the baby? Probably that was the best character, bro.
I'm a Teletubby son, baby. I'm the actual baby.
And randomly, this video hit a million views, which was the most I've ever gotten on any platform. I legitimately thought I was hot shit. I walked into one of my
I mean, were you actually the Teletubby son baby or what? Because that's stolen valor, dude. That's the first sin.
college classrooms one day, and some guy I never talked to was like, "Hey, aren't you the guy that made the Teletubby son baby video?"
That's
and I was
crazy.
like, "Nice to meet you, dude. I am him."
Yeah, I'm him. I got that aura. The other day I met some fans. It was a weird shit, man. I was at the fucking mall. This kid was holding a small duck. Just holding it around. I was just like, what the fuck's going on right now? He walked up and said, "Oh, are you Papa Gut?" And he's telling his friends, "You don't know who this guy is? He's Papa." And I was like, yeah, I am a pretty big deal, obviously. I am the coolest guy you've ever met. Which is probably actually true, sadly. No. And he had a whole fucking duck in his hand. What are you doing with a duck? I thought it was preposterous, frankly.
What a rush that was.
I just told him, I said, be careful, man. Take care of that duck, okay? I try to be a good guy. You better take care of that duck. Take care of that duck.
This also brought me my first bit of controversy online because there were a lot of people who did not think it was cool that I lied about being the sun baby. And with the newfound fame I had, any exposure is good exposure. I
Dude, he wasn't the fucking sun baby. All right, cancel this guy.
loved it. And I just kept making a bunch of silly songs about dumb stuff, trying to go viral again. One of the videos that I made that I was pretty proud of was one about Crazy Frog's penis. And that video did not perform very well.
What is crazy from
It had 7,300 views. That was pretty good.
alpha penis?
But a couple months later, I
the
decided
hell?
to make a
Oh.
song about Cho Chang from Harry Potter.
You can't say that. I can't say that name. You can't say that name. That's fucking crazy. Cho Chang? You can't say that fucking shit, bro. That's fucking wild.
And that video did really well. It actually did better than the Teletubby Sun Baby video.
Why'd she name the only Asian character in Harry Potter, Cho Chang?
The people loved me.
These songs are fucking terrible. I'm sorry, man. I don't dislike this guy or anything, but these songs fucking suck. Right? These are fucking lame. These songs are dookie. These songs are literal dookie diarrhea. It's like fucking, it's just like a shitty beat and then your song's super auto-tuned. You know what I mean? Like you can't be doing that. The fuck are you doing with that shit, boy? Can't be doing that shit, boy.
And I basked in the glory. I had 50,000 followers on TikTok. And once again, I thought I was like so cool. Now, during this time, something amazing happened. One of the YouTubers that I made a song about a month earlier actually did hire me to edit for him. And his name was Curtis. Well, it still is Curtis, but it was Curtis back then too. And I really don't know why
I mean, that makes sense because all you guys try to use like his humor, no? Right? Isn't that like a thing that they do? They're like a little silly little like, edited humor. Funny Chungus.
asked me to edit a video for him. I did not have experience editing a YouTube video for a big YouTube star before, but I did have this like delusional belief that doing this would help me become a YouTube star myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Somebody in the chat, they said, "What are your thoughts on V Shoujo stealing $500,000 from charity?" Yeah, you know, I read a little bit into it, and basically the rundown seems to be they said they mismanaged the money, and so what happens is this is something that people need to understand. VTubers are fucking gooners. They're degenerate gooners, and everybody who says that they're not degenerate gooners are degenerate gooners. They're trying to hide the fact that they're degenerate gooners. And so what ends up happening is a bunch of degenerate gooners get together and they create a VTuber, whatever, commission, whatever you want to call it. I don't even care. And then they goon. And they spend the money on shit unnecessarily. Where do you think all that money mismanaged went to? Oh, well, I need this. Oh, some kind of cosplay or a fursuit, or giving some people too much deals, too good of deals. You know, whatever person you're working with, because you jerk off to their VTuber model. It's crazy. We live in a very strange society, you know, and nobody really looks at it. We kind of just like, oh, they're doing their thing. What thing are you doing? They're jacking off. So that's how I feel like that. That's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that.
Which was a crazy thing to believe, because at the end of 2020, I had just finally hit 1,000 subscribers.
All right.
Was doing pretty well, but
boy.
my YouTube videos...
Kind of looks at the introduction of a trans person. By the way, nothing wrong with that, but that's a little... You know what I'm saying. It's femboy coded. The start. They could have just as easily started doing some weird shit on the internet.
We're literally getting like 50 views in a week.
Whoa.
I was like using old Nintendo games to try to make songs out of them, which is like a cool idea, but people did not care, dude. But I edited my first video for Curtis, which was called Episode 5, The Big Reveal. I remember how much effort and time I put into that video. Like,
damn, he stole his labor, dude. He stole his labor. Oh my God.
As if my career depended on it. And when the video came out, nothing happened. I was freaking scammed. I mean, I was paid for the job, but I was scammed. But editing that video convinced me that maybe the way I was making YouTube videos was not a viable way for me to find an audience online. So in 2021, I changed my genre completely, and I made a commentary video talking about Harry Potter fans that shifted realities to hang out with Harry and his friends.
Oh, I love hanging out with Harry and his friends. So does my friend on my shirt. He loves hanging out with them. I personally prefer Emma Watson now. She's like my age, but my friend here, he has a time machine. You wouldn't know anything about it though, because he makes you forget. He doesn't actually have this laser thing here. He just roofies you. It's weird, actually. It's actually very strange. You know, sometimes you wake up and your butt hurts a little bit. But to be honest with you, I'm getting old anyway. So if I sleep too inclined, I wake up with my butt hurting because I have like a tailbone issue. I sit on a butt pad. But if I don't lay on an incline, then you know, my heartburn wakes me up in the middle of the night. So it's kind of like a catch-22. You know, it's kind of a catch-22 for my buddy here. It's like a catch-12, but you know, whatever, dude. We're not gonna get all hung up on the details.
At Hogwarts. I wasn't really used to this concept of just like riffing on like funny stuff that I find online, but it was fun to do, and it was way easier than scripting out a whole video and putting together all this crap that nobody was going to watch.
Damn.
Now, I posted a clip from that video on TikTok, and the video ended up getting a lot of attention, more than any other video I had posted on my channel up until that point.
Damn, how'd you go from people shifting in Harry Potter to trying to cancel fucking SuperMega? That's crazy.
Was know how to draw Rigby, but I mean, 20,000 views for somebody that usually gets 50 is a pretty big deal. And this video actually led
I interpreted that as like 50,000 views, but he meant like literally 50.
To my first bit of YouTube controversy. A lot of Harry Potter shifting fans did not like the way that I was making fun of shifting, and they felt like I was targeting young women who were just participating in like a harmless trend.
Yeah. Good. That's okay. You know what's so funny though? I got a similar thing where I made fun of people who walk around with reborn dolls on TikTok, and the people actually, like, they made videos responding. I watched them and I just kind of chuckled and decided not to respond, because if I responded, they would have got bullied. And I didn't really care that much, because I think it's strange to take a fucking reborn doll to, you know, fucking Disney and then make videos about it. That's very strange behavior. And I know some people were like, no, this is how they cope with their trauma. Shut up. You can't just say trauma everything. All right? You know, I can't have a baby, so you walk around with a baby? That doesn't make sense to me. I think that you have a fucking weird DDLG kink and whatever, or, you know, I don't even care, but why you're fucking filming it and acting like people aren't going to think you're weird as hell. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I went on the computer and I started showing you fucking that Resident Evil mommy Futa, you going to make fun of me? Probably not, because it's pretty based. But I think you understand the general sentiment. You know what I mean? Like, that's the general sentiment. I mean, it is what it is, dude. It is what it is. So, stop getting on my ball sack.
And of course, I loved the attention. I fed into the controversy completely. I made a whole video trying to debunk shifting, and I tried debating anyone who would say otherwise.
Damn, you debate, bro? That's fucking crazy.
Maybe I was a little bit overconfident in some of my opinions. Of course, I started some unnecessary fights and I made some enemies, but the
Damn, you made some shifting enemies. Dude, what the fuck?
positive attention was always drowning out the haters, and so I loved it. I welcomed it. I kept making videos about weirdos on the internet. I gained a couple thousand more subscribers, and I made a lot less videos about young women and a lot more videos about weird guys.
Start watching women and then start breaking them down from head.
Hey, I remember this guy. He's like a Sigma male. He's a Sigma male, guys. He's fucking cool as hell.
To toe.
Bro, this is my bank account. Beards are just makeup for men.
Hey, it's Nicholas Foster. I remember that guy. We used to be like mutuals. He hasn't been around in a while. So, I don't know.
Imposter? Is this the imposter from Among Us?
That guy's fucking awesome.
Yes.
The internet truly has no shortage of weird guys to
Is this the imposter from Among Us? It's just amazing. Are you kidding me? How the fuck did you make fun of that guy? Is this the imposter from Among Us? That's beautiful. That's actual fucking poetry, dude. What the hell?
laugh at, and I took full advantage of that, of course. I made a video making fun of this one guy who ended up having me on his stream to like debate me.
Damn, really?
Are actually apes. By the way, human beings are apes, and yes, men are human being apes who
That's
are looking for
crazy.
sex.
And then I made a second channel called Green is Not
I do be looking for my wife's booty hole.
Nick, where I posted the interview, and a lot of people liked it. Starting beef with random people made me feel powerful, especially when you have a bunch of people watching your videos telling you that you're right all the time. Now, around the same time, I became friends with a
That's fair. That's fair. I feel the same way, you know. Well, I don't really like starting beef actually, but it feels good to win the beef. I used to be ruthless on TikTok. I was a piece of fucking dog shit sometimes, dude. I would say some nasty shit. I would probably put people on TikTok into like deep emotional distress because I knew I was fucking right, or I felt I was right, and guess what? It didn't matter if I was, because I was good at making you think I was. But I'm pretty confident that I was correct more often than not. But I used to be fucking vicious, man. I used to say some wild ass shit. And, you know, it makes you feel good, and then you get a little older, and you're like, damn, man, like, I feel like I'm hurting some people's feelings. That ain't good.
big YouTuber named Danny who lived near me when I moved back into my parents' house in Illinois. I used to make videos about this guy. I used to make songs about this guy, and now he's begging me to make a video with him. So we ended up talking about this weird guy on my
please make a video with me
channel named Jeremy Fragrance, and it
this,
was a
Small World?
hit. And this video picked up so much steam that
Dude, Jeremy Fragrance is fucking based. I think he's still looking for a girlfriend.
every day I was getting another 10,000 people subscribing to my YouTube channel. So
Damn,
literally in the span
look
of
at
a
this
month,
guy.
I went from having 3,000 subscribers to 100,000. I very quickly started making YouTube videos full time out of my parents' house. I started making a lot of YouTube videos with people that I met online, including my boss Curtis, who is now having me edit his gaming videos for his gaming channel.
All right, gaming.
I moved out of my parents' house. I made this video about these Christian podcasters that did really well, and it caused me to make a third channel that was just dedicated to posting dumb shit that was too low effort for my other two channels.
It's so crazy. I feel like one of my biggest issues as a creator has been making too many channels. Some of the long-term fans, they'll know I've Papa Guts had a Papa Gut channel, a Papa Gut Leftovers channel, a Papa Gut Gaming channel, another Papa Gut Leftovers channel, a third Papa Gut Leftovers channel. You get the point. You know? It's so funny because I'll have like the the motivation to like do other stuff for like a week. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I don't want to do this, you know? Like last time it was I wanted to make more content because I'm like, oh, I have like more time to make content and maybe I could start putting more out there, and then you know I like doing stuff in real life, like maybe hanging out with my wife or gooning. I'm a VTuber, by the way, so I goon. Or like and I want to have kids soon too, like all jokes aside. So it's like, you know, maybe the most productive thing I can do is just chill the fuck out and just have one channel. Well, I have two channels. I have my Bites channel, but that one makes sense because I have it's just the same shit I put on my TikTok and stuff. But like just sit on that, man, and just be successful. And you know, when you make too much content, at least for me, I burn out a little bit. It's not like a hard job, but you know, you talk about eventually sometimes there's a content drought and there's not a lot to talk about, and then you're sitting here and you're like, what the fuck should I talk about? And you're just fucking being stupid, and all of a sudden you're reacting to shit. And I like shit and slop. Just to be clear, like I'm not against the slop or anything, but you know, it doesn't mean I like, you know, I like, you know, it's, I like, I don't like slop I don't like, basically. Does that make some sense? So, you know, I don't like the slop I don't like, man. Like, what can I do?
Channels. Green is Not Nick was lower effort than Nick is Not Green, but this new channel, He Said Us, was even lower effort than the Green is Not Nick videos.
Probably the shittiest Avengers movie I've ever seen.
And at this point, I was basically posting a video every single day out of my apartment, and the viewers and money that I was making from this gave me more confidence than I really knew what to do with at the time. Now, I didn't know this at the
money too, baby.
Time, but the way that this attention affected my ego
sucks.
after years of sort of underperforming compared to my peers in academics and extracurricular activities, it was pretty unhealthy. But, you know, we'll get back.
I feel that, dude. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I feel a little self-conscious about maybe not being as successful as some other people, and doing this job, you know, I do well, so it makes me feel confident. Like, I feel good. I feel like a real man. You know what I mean? You can't help it. Can't help. It's nice to do well. It's nice.
To that, because more importantly during this time, I had another run-in with the Harry Potter fan community when I learned that I was a popular fan cast for Harry Potter's dad in a gay POC prequel fan fiction. Yes.
That sounds kind of hot, dude.
So I was fan casted as a young, gay, brown James Potter.
When he's rich, pure blood, who befriends misfits, and is also a DILF.
And there were a lot of fan favorite casting choices for James Potter. I mean, I remember Aaron Taylor Johnson was in there, a bunch of actors that sort of kind of looked like me. And then up-and-coming YouTube sensation, Nickisnotgreen.
Fan fiction is called The Look of It by City Night Pigeon. And right here, you can see first cast James, Nick Green, Nick is not green. Lily, yes, I'll come, also good morning. And then I immediately come in and I say, already in the call, where we meet.
During this time, I was collaborating with a lot of people, making videos with other YouTubers who became good friends of mine in real life. One of them being a musician and YouTuber named Dev Lemons, who became a good friend of mine and ended up showing up in a lot of videos of mine over the next few months. And in November, I decided to start a dedicated gaming channel where I would be playing through video games with friends of mine. Nick is not game.
You know, I wonder if all this like channel creation and shit has something to do with I wonder if it had something to do with like their content not necessarily being as good, you know, anymore, maybe going after SuperMega in some kind of performance piece. Only because I know that I know for me, you know, when I'm burnt out, my content's obviously worse, right? Like is that a hot take or what? And so if you're doing like all this content, you have 3 different channels and you feel pressured to actually post on it, it can burn you the fuck out. So
gaming, the new Markiplier, is what they were saying at the time. This lasted a few months, but after a while, I didn't really feel like I was doing anything original or new with the channel, and I got bored. And this honestly became a recurring theme with ideas that I had as I continued to do YouTube. I was always coming up with big, ambitious video ideas that would never see the light of day because I sucked at focusing on something for more than like,
guys, my ADHD.
Like a few days at a time. So over time, I just made a lot of the same low effort videos of me just making fun of the same.
Why is he doing this video? I think he's trying to figure out a way to come back, and it sounds like he also wants to do something that he feels is a little more meaningful. I think that's also like a motivating factor as well.
Same guys every single day. So at the end of my first year of being a YouTuber, I had a crisis that resulted in a video I made at the start of 2022 titled "YouTube Makes Me Want to Quit." Very dramatic title. I began this long internal battle with myself between making videos that YouTube wanted me to make versus making YouTube videos that I wanted to make. YouTube liked when I made a lot of low effort videos about really specific trending topics. I got more views and more money and more attention as a result of it. And I felt incentivized to make videos that weren't really as creatively fulfilling to me. I wanted to spend more time making focused YouTube videos.
That's so interesting because like I don't even care about like what does that mean? Creative. I guess I do sometimes care about creative fulfillment. Like I like doing the conversation videos, you know, those don't necessarily do as well view wise, but I don't really care about that for those. I mean, I'd like them to do well, but like it is what it is. What are you gonna do, right? But I don't necessarily care too much. I mean, I guess I do sometimes, but it's like, I mean, I guess not in the same way that they like creative for whatever creative means to you. Something fulfilling. I get it. I do get it. I've been feeling pretty good though, because I do also like the slop. I'm a sloppy boy.
Videos that made me happy to make, but then I would get less views and I would feel defeated and less motivated, and the cycle would continue. As someone who worked a lot better at making small videos every day.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you got to try to avoid. As like a creator, it's like obviously you want to make stuff people like, but you got to also kind of keep in mind that you got to be okay with getting bad views too, or else you're going to burn yourself out and you're going to start to overthink and you're going to start making changes that aren't productive. Obviously sometimes it's okay or good to make changes, but you don't want to make unproductive changes just for the sake of making changes because you had like one bad video or a couple of bad videos. Fuck me, I can't believe I just walked out.
Rather than one long video over a week, I found it really hard to make videos that I felt proud of, especially compared to peers of mine in the same space who are making really unique YouTube videos. When YouTube's kind of your only thing you're doing, you want to feel creatively fulfilled by it. You want to be proud of the videos you're putting out, or else it just feels like you're churning out stuff. And that's good if you have another output for your creativity or another way to express yourself, but I was kind of just focused on this. But internal struggles aside, I began a new year of YouTube and I still had no idea what I was doing. Around this time I started a band called Queef Jerky with my friend Dev. The band was kind of supposed to be a joke.
Wasn't that one guy in it too, or no? The SuperMega boy. Wow, this is amazing, this game. I'm literally stuck in the air. Good game.
So we could kind of just shit out songs and put them on Spotify. And we made our first song, which was just called Queef Jerky.
That's kind of interesting, that like interpretation. Like, we just wanted to shit out songs. Like, they wanted to shit post songs. I wonder how much I wonder how much damage being a YouTuber has on like your regular life. You know what I mean? Like, only in the sense that like it gets you in this kind of mode to just pump out shit sometimes instead of necessarily, you know, apply yourself in a more meaningful way.
And then we put it up and kind of just forgot about it. I made a video ranking every jelly bean. I also started a series on my third channel where I used like an AI voice of myself to talk about the Harry Potter movies as I watched them for the first time. A lot of lore I had with Harry Potter. Wish it could have been like Hunger Games or something. Maybe not Harry Potter. Maybe like...
I feel like Harry Potter's much better than Hunger Games. You know, I don't know. Hunger Games is alright, but Harry Potter kind of based, you know?
Divergent.
Plus the creator's kind of cool.
Or something. Between my off-putting Harry Potter movies, the jelly beans, the Queef Jerky, my sophomore year as a YouTuber was off to a great start. So I continue to talk about a bunch of weird guys as I do, but I definitely got a little too into it, and I made this one serious video.
A gay video?
Calling for this one guy to get banned, and I went like really hard at him.
Is that Sneeko?
To be fair, he was doing some really mean stuff.
Racist troll. Who are we talking about?
But I like fully leaned into internet beef with guys like this, despite how like messy and annoying.
I love guys and beef, baby. I love it.
It was, and it made me feel really tense, and it wasn't really fun, but it did feel good when I slammed these guys online in front of everybody. And I guess I really liked shitting on men who...
That's crazy, man. You should have started an OnlyFans.
weren't really as morally like good as I was, right? And even though these videos promoted like overall good values, they still were pretty mean-spirited, and they took a lot of the fun away from the normal commentary that I was making on my channels.
You don't like being mean? What the hell?
Then I put out a video in March at the suggestion of my therapist at the time. And
your therapist gave you a suggestion? What the fuck?
And I talked about a lifelong fear that had occupied my mind for a lot of my life.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. I feel you. Fucking those scary dreams where that a stupid fucking bitch is at your goddamn edge of your bed and she's just staring at you and there's like nothing you could do. You're kind of paralyzed and you're sitting there and then you start to go, and then your wife like is next to you and she's like, what's going on, what's going on? She tries to like wake you up, so she starts shoving you because you're like a big guy, and then you wake up and you're like, why the fuck did you wake me up? And then you take a huge piss, and then of course you get pissed on the kind of get pissed everywhere. I'm not trying to be that guy, but like it's just, it happens, dude. I go for a piss at night, you get fucking pissed everywhere. Sometimes it's a sloppy piss. You get fucking pissed everywhere, especially if you got a goddamn boner. Like, that one makes it, though, even worse. You know, it's easy to aim a hose, not so easy to fucking aim a rod. Doesn't even matter if it's small or not. You know, it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to get that in there? And then, you know, you're getting older and your prostate's a little larger, so your piss stream is inconsistent. So you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? That's why when my wife and her friends are staying here, we're gonna sleep downstairs. We have a guest room, we have a regular room, a guest room, then we have a basement, and then we have like a downstairs. Down here there's a futon, so we're gonna stay on the futon together. It's gonna be pretty good, and this way I have a bathroom to myself, so I don't have to worry about cleaning up my piss in the middle of the night. If I get it, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I gotta wake myself up if I just go and I piss. If I just wake up in the middle of the night and I go for a piss, and it's like, oh, if I get some on the floor, I clean in the morning. But if I got fucking company, I gotta clean it then. And then I gotta wake myself up to go and like look, because I'm not wearing my glasses. I can't see shit. So I gotta wake myself up, and then now a fucking 4 a.m. piss turns into I'm up at 4 a.m. That's what it turns into. It's fucking terrible.
I grew up as a really strong Christian, and I developed this all-consuming fear of death that
I grew up as a Daniel.
was affecting me pretty heavily at the time, despite the fact that I sort of stopped being Christian just a couple of years earlier. Definitely a big bummer of a video. Huge bummer. But it helped that hundreds of thousands of people watched it, and there were a lot of people that resonated with, and it honestly helped me move past it after some time. Now, in April, I made a video for 420 where I played a game that I came up with. Very unique, original game called You Cringe, You Smoke. Now, I was pretty new to smoking weed.
You cringe, you smoke. Oh god, I hate people who smoke weed. I don't mind if you smoke weed, but I hate people who smoke weed. Does that make sense? They're always so fucking like lame. It's like a personality trait. It's like, holy fuck, dude.
Or cannabis at the time, but this series ended up becoming very recurring on my channel and was enjoyed by a lot of self-proclaimed potheads. And I'm not talking about those silly Harry Potter fans. And I did
he got a funny little joke. He got homie got some jokes.
Leaning pretty hard into like smoking weed is my thing, which, you know, even though I do love it, maybe I tried a little bit too hard to incorporate it into my job.
That's
now,
crazy.
I think around this time I also began to receive more general criticism from the internet about my channel. And even though I didn't make a specific video about this, I probably talked about it a lot on Twitter at the time. And thank God I don't have access to any of my old tweets anymore, because I talked a lot on Twitter. I said some probably very embarrassing things. And it really does make me cringe to think about how overly confident and defensive
Yeah, I hate stoners. Fucking losers.
I was against any haters that I had online. And as much as I refuse to admit it, I hated being wrong. Big surprise there. Now, one major...
Oh yeah, I love being right, dude. That's why I'm never wrong. I'll tell you one thing though. You know, this is one of the problems with men and women is I don't know, man. I'm right more than my wife is right. But you know, you have to learn to pick your fucking battles. You know, women are cursed. Women are cursed with emotions. And like, listen, men have emotions too. I got angry. That's my only emotion. Anger and eating. But women are fucking crazy. They got all these emotions going through them. If I had those emotions going through me, I'd be fucking crazy too. I'm not even shitting on women. They do be crazy. You just gotta learn to pick your fucking battles. It's just not worth it. So I'm wrong more often than, you know, according to the world. You know, it's like we went to court. Every time we have an argument, we're going to court. It's like Judge Judy's telling me, I'm like, well, Judge, I wasn't wrong. It's like, well, you said you were wrong. You know what I mean? Like when the judge is like, well, you settled. You know, you took a plea deal and said you're wrong, even if you didn't think so. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I guess you're right. Thank you, Judge. Judge Robin, my wife. It's fucking ridiculous.
Your critique that I would see online is that I pandered to my audience, which was mostly made up of a lot of young women. People thought that I made a lot of these videos about weird men in order to appease the young women that watched me and for them to look up to me as like one of the good ones. And this critique really bothered me at the time. And I hated the fact that anyone out there, even random strangers, saw what I did or how I was as like insincere. I just wanted to make funny videos, and suddenly I'm seen as this nice guy. I'm just a nice guy all of a sudden. I'm like, come on, guys, I make a lot of different videos. It's not just about weird guys.
I'm
like,
a nice guy.
Yeah, most of them, sure, there's a lot of ones about weird guys, but that's what we can't talk about weird guys anymore. It's illegal to talk about weird guys. Looking back at it,
well, listen, so here's the thing, man. Like, I remember making content back in the old TikTok days, and I've always been somebody that I feel like I try to be factual. But I'm sure that back in the day that there were moments where I leaned too into some narratives. And so it's like when you know, like back in 2020, there was way too much shit that was too far left. So I criticized it. Like some things were too crazy. Like, you know, different movements like body positivity went a little too far. Body positivity should be about like loving yourself so you feel confident to go out and productively get healthier, not about, you know, being as fat as possible and justifying that bad decision. Right. And so that's like one aspect of it. But I remember, you know, you kind of play, sometimes you get like a little lost in the sauce. And I feel like that's probably what it is, where you get to the point where you're not even looking at some issues that maybe men do face. And you're like, anytime a guy comes forward and says like, yeah, I have this issue, and you're like, oh, fuck you. And you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you get caught in the hole, you get lost in the sauce. I feel like that's probably what happened. You get a little lost in the sauce with some of the shit that you talk about, and you have to take a step back. What the fuck? Why does this bitch have any tits? Sorry, that was inappropriate. I just feel like games are too woke nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Give me some fucking titties. So, and an ass. Like, what the hell's going on there?
Not a surprise that I had this association. I feel like I mostly made a lot of videos about guys because making fun of like women online just felt a little wrong, and like there's plenty of that going on. We can let the women make fun of the women. Maybe I'll make fun of women sometimes. And with all the videos that I was putting out.
Okay, we just gotta look this up. In Disney's Pinocchio, the blue fairy, who's Pinocchio's fairy godmother, is not explicitly given an age. However, she is portrayed as powerful, ageless, and celestial being. Appearing as a young woman, she is not subject to the same limitations of age. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so basically, she's 7,000 years old, so it doesn't matter what she looks like, okay? It's okay. It doesn't matter what she looks like. Because according to the lore, she is ageless. She's in infinite age. So, yeah, maybe she looks like a minor. But basically, she's so old, she's basically grooming me. So, you know, I just had to put my VTuber anime voice on for a second there, guys. I just had to, you know, gotta get that going on there. Gotta get my fucking strong logic on that one, boy. Gotta get my strong logic on that one, boy.
I needed a lot of simple bottom tier content in order to keep the output going, keep the machine running. So I don't really think it was necessily a conscious decision, but it was definitely giving straight cis male feminist vibes.
True, those people are fucking crazy. It's crazy, man. Anybody who says that they're a feminist and they're a boy is a threat to society. Sorry, fact. Listen, it's chill to be the guy that's like, hey, listen, I can respect some women, right? Like, I respect my wife. I don't respect any other woman but my wife, obviously, because, like, if I see another woman in the street, I hit her with my car. I'm not fucking around. We're not going to turn the... We're just not... Listen, you know what? You're better off getting hit by my car than hit by my wife. That's what I tell every woman I hit with the car. So, you know, but it's cool to respect women, but it's not cool to be a male feminist. All these guys turn out to be fucking weirdos. I got some name drops, like... Remember Modern Warrior? Talking to a bunch of girls and sleeping with them and shit. And Joe Robe, I think he was talking to kids and shit. And you know, you got all these fucking people, man. You gotta be careful. You got all these male feminists. You gotta be careful, these motherfuckers.
As the year went on, I made even more videos about guys doing bad stuff. I went to an NFT convention in Los Angeles.
Nice.
Bored ape or CryptoPunk?
Bored ape.
Tacos or burritos?
Let's go with tacos.
All right. That literally was me when I'm drunk. You know what I mean? That's when the that's when all the different impersonations and different impressions come out. That's when I do my best, you know, Hispanic voice and Asian voice and black voice. That one has got me into a little trouble. Thankfully, I didn't grow up on the internet time. But, you know, listen, when you get drunk, all your alters come out. That's how I explain it to the youngsters. They sit here and they criticize you because, you know, maybe you said broccoli a little bit different. Maybe you held your R's a little too long on the broccoli. You know what I'm saying, dude? But I'm sitting here, I'm like, these are my alters. You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do? I go out to the Korean barbecue. I get myself some sake. You don't think I'm gonna appreciate the culture? You don't think the Asian in me is gonna come out? You know? Yeah, guys, look at the papacho. That comes out, dude. I'm drinking some sake. It's crazy. And waitresses don't mind. You know, that's crazy. Waitresses. This is actually a pro tip. Waitresses do not really care if you're a little racist, quote unquote, if you tip well. Isn't it crazy? You tip 50 on 100 and they fucking, they don't care. Isn't that amazing? We live in such a beautiful world. It's an incredible thing. It's a beautiful world we live in.
Russia, Ukraine.
I love America. It's just so full of life and different cultures mixing.
Ukraine all day, baby.
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
Russia, unless you know you're a good person over there, like that you don't know anybody. There's state media, I understand, but Ukraine, I fucking love those people, man.
This guy seems chill, man. What the fuck?
I want to so badly go help and fight on your front lines because you people.
I don't. I'd rather give you guys some money. It's fucking not really worry about it myself. I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Yo, you guys hear that one guy? There was a family that moved. Oh, dude, this is like a real thing. There was a family that I heard about. They moved to Russia because they were tired of like Biden's woke LGBTQ narrative agenda. I don't even know. That guy can't even fucking write a daily agenda for himself. What are you kidding me? And they moved there and the dad died to a drone strike. And I sat there and I said, wow. And then I just moved on with my day. Because if you're going to sit here and you're going to be an American fucking citizen, part of the greatest country in the world, that's supposed to be responsible for standing up to fucking bad guys. I don't give a fuck how infantile my perspective on America is. Why the fuck are you moving to Russia, a place that's constantly trying to violate people's shit? Oh, we're going to attack other countries, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that. I understand America's not perfect, but you're a fucking traitor. And the second that you decided to go live in Russia, I don't care what it was for. I don't even care if you found a hot Russian bride. The second you decided to go on there is the second that I cheered for the landmine, that I cheered for the drone. I don't mean to be insensitive. I'm not a big fan of treason. I'm not a big fan of I consider that treasonous. I consider that treasonous. So, no love lost there, brother.
Are fighting for freedom, and I fucking love you people for it in Ukraine.
Hell yeah, brother. I like this guy.
And I donated personally $1,500.
Dude, somebody said that I'm bored of this video. I'm enjoying this video. I'm having fun today. I'm chilling. I'm on a vibe. Why you guys gotta fucking... Why you gotta harsh my vibe? I'm enjoying myself. I'm talking a little bit today. My wife tells me I do a good job talking.
$100 to Ukraine.
The fuck is this guy?
You guys are awesome.
Israel or Palestine?
Israel.
Oh, shit. Damn. He fucking gave the wrong answer. The answer is both. But we don't like the Israeli government, guys. We don't like Netanyahu. War criminal? Yeah.
Jerky put out
We also don't like Hamas, just to be clear.
another song.
I also don't really like hummus. Not a big hummus fan. Just not my thing. Sorry, I know that that's probably like a slur to you guys, but...
I made a video where I was amazed with AI and how good AI was getting, which is aged really poorly.
Oh, yeah. Me too, man. I love AI. You know, they have things that you can look at your best friend's girlfriend's face on another person's body naked. Isn't that fucking crazy? I learned that from a buddy of mine. His name sounds like a bird, you know? It might have been like a dinosaur bird or maybe like an atrioc. That's a bird, I think. Maybe a Pokemon. I don't fucking know.
And I also talked about this guy named Andrew Tate, who I actually made a video about a year earlier when he was relatively unknown. In September, I started a podcast, my first podcast with another YouTuber.
Yeah, Ryan Beard. And then they gave that podcast up mad quick. Boy, I don't really know why.
Friend that I had named Ryan Beard, who makes videos in Australia. And the podcast was...
Damn, fucking loser. Dude, I don't understand. Here's my thing. Why the fuck are you going to go live in Australia? You're going to live in Australia? You know what they got over there? Spiders the size of dogs. I don't even like dogs the size of dogs. I like small, cute dogs. And big dogs. I like those. Are my only two types of dog I like. I don't really like in-between dogs. It's like kind of fucking cringe. But they got fucking spiders. Like Huntsman. I saw something that's like, oh yeah, you just let it live in your house and it like eats something. It's just, you guys vibe. Not on a vibe with that. Doesn't matter how beneficial a spider is to my house. It probably would be. You know what I mean? Like, I probably wouldn't have any other bugs in my house. Not going to ever live with one. You can go fuck yourself. It's not happening.
About a fake religion that we started where we worshipped a god named Gormu. A month after that, I visited Los Angeles and I officially decided that I wanted to move out of Illinois and start a new life in California.
That's what a terrible decision, man. I feel like the mass influx of creators going to California just so that they could network or whatever was so stupid. You know, I feel like for fucking what, man? This is the online times. I feel like you don't have to do that. Take a fucking plane every once in a while. You don't gotta go live in fucking wherever. Now all the successful people live wherever the fuck they want. Isn't that insane? Because you could do this online. I don't know if you guys know that. This is an online job. So
during this time, Queef Jerky had...
I wonder how many kids from like that got big on TikTok like moved to fucking California and just like it just shifted their whole fucking world. It's just insane.
Come out with our debut album and we released it just a few days before I moved. I flew to California by myself and I moved into a fancy house and I bought a fancy car and I felt like I was finally a real YouTuber. Like,
damn, it's, you know what's crazy? I remember back in the day, I went to Florida. I went to Disney. You guys know I like Disney with my wife, and when we were there, we rented a car, and then I fell asleep. We rented a car. And then we rented a car and they gave us the wrong one. Excuse me. Well, they didn't have the car that they were supposed to give us, right? So they let us take a Dodge Challenger, and I took the Dodge Challenger. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. And it made me really want the car. So I got back home and I'm like, I'm going to buy this fucking thing, right? It would cost me like a decent amount of money. It would have been like a $50,000 or $60,000 car. Like, I didn't need like a super impressive Dodge Challenger. I don't really care about that. And I didn't, and I'm happy because then my content started to take like a nosedive a little bit, you know, which it is what it is. I was making some silly decisions, you know what I mean? Like shit happens, boy. I'm just so happy I never bought that thing. That would have been such a stupid fuckhead move.
I had finally made it. However, moving across the country away from my friends and family into an empty house by myself really started off my luxurious Los Angeles lifestyle with some debilitating anxiety.
I can imagine.
I did not feel as good as I thought I was going to when I showed up in Los Angeles.
No,
and I tried doing this thing in December to kind of get me back up on my feet called Daily December, where I posted a video every day in December. And it very quickly ended because I was not doing well in my head. I was twisted in the head. And at the same time, my views were kind of taking a dip too, which made me feel like people weren't really interested.
Views were taking a dick, man. That's fucking crazy, boss. That's fucking crazy.
In watching me anymore. I mean, only 100,000 views per video? What am I gonna do? This shit's embarrassing. I decided to take a short break for the first time in a long time. And 1 year after
it's so funny, man. 100,000 views would be crazy. I mean, I'm doing well, dude. You know, that's like they say, comparison is the thief of joy. You know? Nurse joy. That's why you gotta try not to compare yourself. I'm doing really well myself, but if I compare myself to other people in my sphere, I could be doing better. But you know, for myself, I'm doing very well. I had a good productive year so far.
My last YouTube crisis, I was having yet another crisis, figuring out what I wanted to make on this stupid website. At the end of 2022, after about 7 episodes, the Fellowship Covenant podcast ended. With everything I was struggling with after the move and all of my crises with YouTube, it was hard to produce a podcast with someone that lived halfway across the world, and it resulted
oh, well, I guess the time difference is probably fucked a little bit.
Me making a very dumb decision to move.
You should put the fries in the bag and move on for all sakes. True, dude, that's true. That might be a bad idea. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd make this much money.
Forward with the podcast by myself under a different format. Instead, I started interviewing friends of mine in real life about religion and death, and none of this really felt natural to me. And
what the fuck? That's such a heavy topic. Why would that? I would have assumed that if you're doing such an insane fucking thing like that, then you really liked that topic. What the fuck would you do that? That's fucking crazy. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Didn't feel good about it, and I ended the podcast after a couple episodes, and I was very embarrassed that I tried to keep it going in the first place. And this kind of continued this repeating trend where I would quickly give up on video ideas that didn't really go my way immember. And I feel like this is kind of a result of the success that I had early on in YouTube.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, man. Like, I remember TikTok, like, you know, I remember... It sounds like he got big during 2020, and views came to people very naturally, very easily. It made you feel a certain type of way, and then those things fell the fuck off, man. And a lot of people struggled coping with the loss of views. That's why you have a lot of young creators who did really well, and they just mentally fell off because they're like, wow, I thought my whole life was going to be, hey, I'm super successful. I'm just going to do vlogs now. My whole life is supposed to be just doing vlogs or silly content and making egregious amounts of money. And where'd all my views go? And they left it. And when people had to go back to work from COVID, and people couldn't cope with that or even understand it, wasn't even understood explicitly. So I remember I had a problem with it, but I'm like, hey, listen, I'm still pumping along, more lucky than a lot of other creators. And I was able to thankfully keep a positive mentality. But like a lot of people, they did. I mean, I actually did not keep a positive mentality. I was fucking distressed all the goddamn time. But I just fucking, you know, I did my best to try not to care, try to be productive about it, and I confided in my wife, and eventually things turned around as I stayed consistent. You know, but I feel like a lot of young people, they're not going to have that same interaction with that shit, and you get a kind of like a sense of almost entitlement, where you're like, I got so many views so quickly. This project I'm doing now though is not doing well. What the fuck's up with that? Anything I do should be successful. It's just like a weird time. It's a weird sphere.
It felt like everyone kind of always loved everything that I was making. So when things didn't do well right away, I would kind of just panic and shut down.
And start shitting your pants.
Whoops. Same. My bad. I started making some more video essay style videos that weren't really received as well as I wanted them to be. And I feel
it's so funny because like for some creators, sometimes it's just about like making content and being consistent in that content creation. And giving it time to grow. You know, you make too many changes, it's very jarring for people. You make something and you commit to it, even if it's a little different, and if you really put the energy into it, it can be very successful. That's kind of like one of the things you really want to do. Wow, fun.
I feel like every time I put my energy into one of these higher effort videos, the pressure was so intense, and I really built up this unhealthy association that I had with work. In fact, making this video took so long because every time I would try to work on it, I would cry and shake like a little dog that's scared of like a bigger dog, I guess. It's like a dog that's like struggling mentally, who like really can't figure out his way in life, you know, like a dog who's just crazy. Hello, it's Nick from the future with a new shirt on. I really want to talk about...
Me too, dude. I love my new shirt. What do you guys think?
video that I made during this time where I really wanted to run a red light with my car because I never did anything illegal when I was younger. So I went.
Wow, that's fucking base. I remember I ran a stop sign when I was really tired during COVID because it was I was really tired. It was COVID and I had worked the whole weekend. Like I was working like 12-hour days because I was like disinfecting buses and shit, you know. Because it do be like that, boy. And I got a ticket and it cost me a lot of money years later. Actually having like I was having like a bad day. Like I got in some controversy, so I like rushed home. I just paid the ticket. I should have contested it. I should have been like, why am I paying $400 for this ticket? Because the reason is because it was so late, but it was COVID, so they delayed it themselves and they just put it on me. And I it's fucking stupid, man. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What?
I wanted to find the safest way for me to run a red light.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Just gotta get naked, boy.
You're good. Yes.
Whoa, he's admitting to a crime, dude.
I think the video is really funny, but it did not perform well. But as time went on, a lot of people who I'd meet in real life would say that that video is their favorite video I've made, which is just another indication that views don't equal good video. You know, there's a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I make a video that does poorly view-wise, and then some of my more closer followers go, oh man, I liked this. This was one of my favorite fucking videos, Papa God. This was amazing, you know. So sometimes it's not worth stressing because you never know, man. It could be your smallest video that really pumps and pops off in a way where like you get some positive attention from some kind of entity, whether it's like a particular person or whatever, you know.
A lot of videos that were like current events that I kind of made half-assed and they got a bunch of views, but no one's meeting me in real life and telling me that their favorite video I made was like me reacting to Colleen Ballinger's apology. And around this time, I actually went on tour for the first time. I was playing drums for my
ukulology, dude.
Friend Dev, who was opening up for a big band for a whole month. Nice. And also at this point, she had moved to Los Angeles. We accidentally fell in love with each other. And after a few months, she moved into my house.
Wow. Are you guys smooching on the Dales? The dailies?
We started this series on my third channel where we air fried stuff for a long time. It was...
Damn, there's the bad guy right there. There's Penis then. Oh, I guess their name's Eden now.
Kind of fucked up, honestly. People didn't like those videos. They did not.
Well, I could see why.
Do that well, but honestly, it's kind of some of the best content I've ever made. Queef Jerky ended up putting out our second album, and we made an official YouTube channel for the band, which wasn't really getting that much traction at this point. And we were really misunderstood musical pioneers of our time.
Yep,
shit on the mattress. I got to leave. There's shit on the mattress, bitch.
Now, while I was on the road touring, I started making videos about drama that was happening on TikTok for my second channel. And it picked up a lot of steam during a time where I thought people didn't really care about what I was making anymore. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I had a niche that people enjoyed watching, and my channel became more successful than it ever had before. I was making country music drama, tattoo drama, JoJo Siwa, and a lot of different controversies that were getting a lot of views. And these videos were still low effort enough where I could be putting them out multiple times a week. I made this video about these K-pop girls that were getting canceled, and I pretty much called them racist for like speaking Korean and becoming K-pop idols because that's what they enjoyed doing. And it got me some pretty understandable hate from that side of the internet. I have
no idea what the fuck. They were white and they were speaking Asian? What are they, drunk Papa Gut?
Don't think that was cool.
Later, I mean, I don't really speak Asian. I speak what I think it sounds like. Does that make sense? Which is probably why I got kicked out of that restaurant. But you know, what are you gonna do, man? Like, fuck, drunk.
Later on, I had a video where I made fun of this lady who got kicked off.
I'm drunk, so give me the keys, boy.
Of an airplane for saying some crazy stuff, and I claimed that she was under the influence. And a lot of people were understandably upset that I wrote off the possibility of her having an untreated mental breakdown, and for it to be posted viral on the internet.
Well, listen, dude. I mean, if you have an untreated mental illness, treat it with some alcohol. Drink some fucking beers, dude. Oh, I don't feel well. I got untreated mental illness. Do what I do. Drink a fucking 40, get in your goddamn vehicle, go for a nice, relaxing drive. Like, it's like you guys don't even think anymore. Like, grow up. Drink and drive. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, it's time to grow up and drink and drive, okay?
To be very humiliating. Wait, and then later I made a video making fun of this couple who did this thing called the love surge, and I made jokes about the harassment.
Dude, yeah, well, they deserve to be fucking bullied relentlessly. I know what you're talking about, boss man. So that's fucking cringe. Also, stop fucking shooting me. I'm being pissed.
We're receiving as a part of this. I was not really being sensitive about.
Beer is cheaper than therapy, true, and also you don't live as long, and that can kind of be a positive if you think about it. Oh. I drink a beer. You know they say every hot dog you eat is a day off your life. Kill two birds with one stone, boy. It's fucking incredible. Gotta love it.
About the topics I was talking about, given the fact that so many people were watching the videos, and I was really on a hot streak of making videos that made groups of people uncomfortable or upset at me. Despite this, I was putting out dozens of videos every month, so a lot of this just felt unnoticeable or unimportant to me. And why would I care about all that mean stuff I said when around the same time, my band Queef Jerky put out a song called Pineapple Upside Down, which ended up becoming a viral hit on TikTok, and it propelled our band into fame that we had not yet previously considered possible.
I need white noise to sleep. I need a sleep mask on me. I shoot my gun like pow pow pow. I shoot my shot like cow or yow.
Queef Jerky
I don't think that became as viral as you're saying, but maybe I'm wrong. True.
became a household name for annoying people. We even had our first live show as Queef Jerky, and it sold out and was a huge success.
Oh, shit, you know what? Maybe I'm eating my own penis, my own hot dog. That's another day off my life.
And I felt quite unstoppable. Around this time, there was a popular YouTube channel that close friends of mine really did not like. My friend's partner used to work for this channel, and they were regularly telling me about these horrible experiences.
Are we doing SuperMegs now, dude? Holy moly.
That they were having working with this channel. Now, just to remind everyone, this video is about me and my internet journey, so I'm doing my best to avoid identifying anyone in this video, because I do not feel like anyone involved in this story deserves to have it brought up again.
I mean, they might, but I appreciate the sentiment that, because this is going to be SuperMega, I think. I appreciate the sentiment that he's like, hey, this is just about telling my story. I really don't want to get involved in the drama, but I want to talk it out. Because it seems like this video really is just talking it out. It seems like this entire video, as much as people may want to be negative about it, is just him kind of talking his shit out with the internet in a way that he feels is productive. And while I don't know if it's a necessary video to make, because I don't necessarily think that you need to be meaningful in everything that you say on the internet and like have a meaningful progression of steps, and not everybody has to you know, be part of your personal growth on your channel, I can appreciate what he's trying to do. And that's what this kind of seems like. So I mean, I generally respect it.
I am trying to keep it purposefully vague and concise, so please do not reach out to or talk to anyone that I may be referencing in this video. Please be cool.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying, guys. And also, don't look up any of their leaks. Don't look it up on any leak website. Is it against the YouTube rules that's to suggest sites like that? Just out of like, just so that you stay away from them. Just stay away from leak sites. I'm just like a degenerate today. This is insane. I'm becoming self-aware as I'm making these jokes. You know I'm on something else when I'm starting to become self-aware after making a fucking wild ass joke, you know.
After months of hearing about these experiences, my friend's partner decided to go ahead and make a video calling out and exposing these YouTubers.
Whoa.
And they asked—
oh yeah, Lex Updog, she worked there, and it's very clear that she's a fucking idiot, and she took advantage of SuperMega and their friendliness. And I remember my favorite point that she made, that she criticized them for, was because they let her stay with them, like at their like work house temporarily, and because they didn't give her a move out time, she thought that was shitty because she didn't have like a decent frame of reference. And she lied about how they were trying to like take her stuff from her. It was fucking insane.
Asked me if I would make a video about it and spread the word. I eagerly agreed to do it. I had heard so many stories from my friend. I felt angry on behalf of them. I wanted to see these people publicly face consequences for their actions. And I also knew that this was going to be a big story that people would want to hear about. There were a lot of fans of mine who knew about this channel. I was actually a big fan of this YouTube channel when I started making videos. I had a bunch of their merch. I bought their book. And in 2021, I even made a tier list video ranking hot cartoon moms from a tier list that they made for their channel. But
that sounds like a good video, dude. Sounds like a good video.
Obviously, my love for this channel turned into this.
Chat, can you rank hot moms in video games without having your penis out? Like, how do you get the true testament? You know, how do you really get the true feelings out?
Extreme distaste, and so I made my video, and I did not hold back, really at all.
Damn.
I didn't even wait for this channel to respond to the allegations before I made my video, and I made it very clear what side I was on before they had the chance to say anything. The title of my video was "Blank is full of horrible people." Really not the—
I believe that's SuperMega
most nuanced take of mine. In this video, I relentlessly went after these YouTubers, and I made a lot of mean jokes that were really in bad taste given how serious the allegations.
I think one of the things that they made a joke about, or he made a joke about, was you know, one of their friends, SuperMega's friends, like took their own life tragically, I believe. And SuperMega they were upset and they were angry and they were making jokes about it. And this guy, you know, I just felt like that was one of the most disconnected things to not understand that, you know, some people deal with their shit differently. So that was shitty.
Allegations were. At the time, I justified it and felt like it was just another day dunking on some shitty guys, but it was very...
You think we should do some? Oh yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should rank hot moms or dads on the Robin Dan channel.
Very clear that this was like a much different video than the other ones that I was making on my channel. The original video had private information.
This was a cancel culture video.
About the personal lives of these people, and it wasn't just them, but like the innocent people around them that had to deal with this information being publicized by people like me. Not to mention that I also had a personal relationship with these people, so there was obviously a bias in my stance.
Yeah.
A few days later, this channel came out and gave a very
I feel like there was a bias, and I do feel like this person was very young when they made their video, because when you listen to the allegations, you know, and when you hear allegations, you understand that they're coming from like an individual source. You know, I know it sounds silly, but they're going to be much more charitable to themselves than the other party, obviously, because a lot of times when people talk, they don't communicate facts. They communicate the feelings that they felt. You know, so facts get distorted. You know, so you might, like, let's say you have an ex and you guys had you guys were together and you had a fight one day. And in that fight, like, you felt really horrible. Maybe you were having a bad day and there was like a collective, collective stress, and they may have gotten stern with you, and then, but you might have said they screamed in my face, right? Because that's how you felt. And so that's another one of the problems too, that people need to be careful, and people need to keep that in mind when allegations are getting pushed out there, because like people don't communicate facts in a lot of instances, and it's understandable. Like we're not purely factual creatures. We're fucking people. But people don't always communicate facts. They communicate their emotions that they felt, and then they will match scenarios that would communicate that emotion to them, right? And people should really keep that in mind when they hear allegations, and try to be as impartial as possible in general, because that's how a lot of people communicate a lot of the time. And it's a helpful thing to understand, because then maybe you have a partner that's more emotional and they talk in a way that you feel is like super flared and sensationalized, and maybe you can understand when you hear something like that, like, oh, okay, now I understand why they do that, you know, because they have a very strong feeling about it, and then maybe you could have a productive conversation, or you could hit them. I don't know, one of those two things. I mean, I go with the latter, but I'm just kidding. I get hit.
Lengthy and serious response to all of this, refuting a lot of what was said in the video. And behind the scenes, of course, my friends who made the original video called BS on all of this to me and said that this was all very refutable and untrue. And despite not asking for any of that evidence to ensure that they were being honest with me, I made a follow-up video covering what these YouTubers said to defend themselves, and I didn't give them any grace at all. Any sort of credit or truth that I was giving to these guys meant that I was turning my back on a close friend of mine, and so I was not willing to publicly give any credit to the enemy.
Sure, I get that. I understand that, especially since it seems like they've kind of built up this, this idea or this history. They communicated a history to me that they would be involved in certain, somewhat like TikTok controversies where they would say things and they would get a lot of positive affirmations, even if some of the things that they did might have been shitty or a little bit, I don't want to say out of touch, but maybe not necessarily, as accurate. So you kind of get into this field of like, okay, you said something, and nobody likes to be wrong, and then on top of that, you have a holy fuck, I hate this game. Sorry. Then you get sorry. Then you get feedback every time you have a controversy where people give you validation, even if you're not necessarily correct, and it kind of just builds up into, it's just like very unproductive thing sometimes.
This whole controversy was way too personal for me to cover in a fair way, and I made sure that everyone...
You don't have to complain. The fucking map in this game is so bad. An idiot designed this. Somebody with fucking babbling shit fingers designed this. Why the fuck is my objective? Oh, you can just hide the objective. Never mind. Never mind, dude. I'm not crashing out at all. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Side to be on was. And people did not like this video, obviously, but I refused to look at any of the comments or see what people were saying, and I just claimed that it was fans of this YouTube channel that were upset that I was calling them out, and that I was shitting on their favorite YouTubers. And
and that kind of makes sense too. It's weird when you exist in a more kind of, I guess, divisive space. So like when you do, again, it sounds like some of his content was like anti-red pill, you're going to get feedback from people that's going to be like ridiculous, and it can get very easy to decide that all feedback is ridiculous, especially when the feedback is disproportionate, always on the internet, even when you're in the wrong. And so I think that there's just so many different elements into this that, you know, I understand why you'd feel a particular way about it.
I didn't just post these videos, but I also talked shit on my Instagram stories and was in full denial towards anybody that said that I may have been wrong in what I did. Around the same time, a lot of other YouTube videos started.
You just got to go with the alpha Chad play and just not respond to criticism. It's the best. You gotta learn to do that sometimes. You just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not even gonna respond. I'm just gonna say my piece and I'm gonna move on. I mean, that's not, he shouldn't have said what he said in the first place, but like, you know, sometimes that's the fucking play to make, man. Gotta learn from those conservative content creators, dude. They just do whatever the fuck they want.
Making lengthy videos about the situation and about me specifically, and a lot of these channels happen to be these sort of male red pill type channels.
Oh, Destiny? I don't think Destiny's a male red pill type channel in any capacity. I don't think he's a particularly good person, but I don't think he's a fucking male red pill channel. But
that I'd spent a long time making fun of. In my video, in this whole situation,
maybe that's just how he felt about Destiny. Maybe that's why he said it, you know?
Situation became sort of the prime example of faulty allegations and cancel culture gone wrong for these kind of channels to talk about, which is really damaging because now my mistakes are being used as ammunition against people who are very real victims of some horrible shit. And it's used as an excuse to sort of write off anyone who may be trying to stand up to someone who's doing shit that they should not.
I mean, maybe. I wonder why he's saying that. I wonder if he's saying that because he got the allegations wrong and he's sorry for doing that, or if he's trying to just discredit their criticism. Because I don't know if that's true. Although I guess we've seen Destiny say some pretty horrible shit on that Ryan Beard video. So you know what? Maybe there's an accurate representation there when it comes to Destiny specifically.
Not be doing. And because most of the hate that I
Destiny's a bad person, not red pilled. Well, you know, I don't. He doesn't. I mean, he doesn't say red pill stuff, but I don't know, man. Maybe he is a little more red pill. I mean, he doesn't seem to have a particularly high regard for the women that he sleeps with around him. So I don't know. I don't really feel like getting into a fucking a thought scheme about fucking Destiny of all people. I'm not really interested in that anymore.
I was receiving was coming from these kinds of channels. It reassured me that I was on the right side and that the hate that I was getting was completely misguided. You know, you look at a thumbnail that looks like this.
Nice teeth, man.
And it's hard to take it seriously. And it also helped that I was turning away and refusing to look at any criticism I was getting about the situation, even from fans of mine who had honest criticism of my actions. I was only seeing the most extreme forms of criticism towards me, calling me and my friends liars and horrible people. And I always...
Which is true. Pethan is a horrible person, just to be clear. So is Lex. Lex is a piece of dog shit. She's a bad person. I don't think that Nick is a bad person, but the friends that he had made were definitely bad people, for sure.
Please wrote all these people off as internet trolls who don't understand the situation that's going on, and I assumed it was going to pass after some amount of time, and it definitely did not pass, no matter how many videos I kept making to try to get away from it. The hate comments were very inescapable, and even though I was still in denial of doing anything wrong, I still felt like I had to address it in order for it to finally leave me alone. And unfortunately, at this time in my life, I also don't feel like I had a lot of friends in my life who were honest with me about what I was doing, besides maybe my partner. And I was really...
That's interesting. I'm curious as to what the partner said. Did she caution you? Did she say something like, you know, maybe you aren't as right as you think you are? Or no? I'm just curious, because like a lot of my grounding is from my wife, so...
Receiving criticism after digging my heels in so hard for this whole situation. I spent a lot of time surrounding myself with people who would reassure me and enable me constantly, and it took me way too long to realize how unhealthy that was. And at this point, it felt like the controversy was affecting every single little part of my life. So a couple months later, I decided to finally make a video talking about it again, and I hoped that even if people disagreed with me, it would kind of finally settle the discourse and everyone could move on happily ever after. Which is like baffling to me looking back that I thought that was the way to do it. Like, that's crazy to me. The video was horrible. It did not like own up to me doing anything wrong, and it honestly made things even worse. I think that this was kind of truly the moment where a lot of my fans lost respect for me, and it's scary to look back on because in hindsight, it was such an obviously bad idea, but when you're in this echo chamber and you're unwilling to budge or admit wrongdoing...
That's an interesting way to put it. Eden now is a manipulator, and Nick is easily manipulated. I mean, I don't know if Pethan is necessarily a manipulator. But I will say that it seems like this person, like Nick, seems to be a well-meaning person. It seems like they, and I remember a while back, you know, when they were doing some of their other content and stuff, like I remember them apologizing and stuff. This looks like a penis on the screen. Anyway, sorry. I remember like, oh, this person seems like they're well-meaning, you know? So I think that they're like well-meaning. I don't think that their friends or this person's friends are. I think that they got like kind of caught up in the wrong crowd. Caught up in the wrong crowd. Theater edition, you know? It's one of those things where they're just like mean and snarky and kind of gay. Because, you know, everybody in theater is gay. And I know that for a fact because my wife likes the theater and all of her gay fucking friends do.
It can lead to these publicly humiliating decisions. And I really never thought I was the kind of person who could have a controversy like this happen to me. I always thought that I had the foresight and common sense to avoid doing something that was intentionally damaging and embarrassing to myself. And I even talked to my friends and spent like days thinking about posting the video, and I still put it out for everyone to see. And over the next few days, I decided to take the video down, and I slowly started walking back things that I said. And I finally made the decision to cut off my friends who I initially made the video for in the first place, because they still strongly believed that we did not do anything wrong and that there was no reason to apologize. But even after taking down these videos, the association that this whole controversy had to my channel and to my face made it very hard for me to make things right and gain anyone's trust back. And after
yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Regardless of whether you disappear for a while or make new content or keep moving on, I mean, you know, you kind of have to move on from it. I've had my moments where I've said some dumbass shit, and you know, and done some dumbass shit, and it just takes a while to repair your shit, man. It is what it is, boy. It is what it is, and you try to learn to be better when you get controversy, and et cetera, and then keep yourself out of it and have, you know, better takes or more balanced ones and shit like that.
Continually just trying to post through it, I finally took yet another break from posting YouTube videos at the end of 2023. It took until January, 6 months after the initial videos, for me to finally put out a proper apology. And by this point, it was far too late for me to make anything right. Every company that I was...
But it does make sense. You know, it's interesting because obviously there's things where you get wrong and you're like, oh, that was wrong. But I think that when it comes to big stuff, if you apologize, at least from a human level, if you apologize too quickly, it makes me question your sincerity. Because, you know, if you had this supposedly such strong opinion, like, why did it shift so quickly? I find that to be like an aspect where like I can almost lose respect for you if I would almost lose. Yeah, I would. Like, I just like, why'd you shift your perspective so quickly? You know, I mean, sometimes you can just come to it really quickly, but I don't know. It seems kind of unlikely.
Stopped working with me. Internet friends of mine distanced themselves from me and stopped talking to me. And I probably lost about 100,000 subscribers from fans of mine who did not respect me or care for me anymore. It felt like everywhere I went on the internet, I saw people hating me. Random DMs or emails, messages to my friends or my partner, random Reddit threads that I would come across. One time I came across a...
Jesus Christ. That's the worst, man. When you're sitting there jacking off to Reddit threads trying to come across them, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, this guy's fucking ugly as shit. You know, that's not fun. What the fuck is this thing running away from?
Pretty popular TikTok talking about how my content had made such a decline in quality. And all the comments were talking about like how hard I fell off from YouTube. And mostly a lot of YouTube thumbnails with my face front and center.
Bro, why the fuck was that thing running away so hard? What the fuck? What the hell was that? What the fuck was that?
And as someone who had pretty much put all of his self-worth into his online presence the past 3 years, this pretty much broke me harder than anything that I had experienced in my life so far.
I hear that, boss man. But you want to know what? Here's the thing. Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, man. Sometimes those those short-term losses can really turn out to be long-term gains. You know, I think that, and everybody's been there, but this guy got caught up in a very toxic cycle of just kind of being a bully on the internet and canceling people for attention, and you know, that's not good. How long do you think that lasts? Not permanent. And so sometimes all I can really take you out of that idea, that mindset, is to get your fucking ass handed to you, and then you go, huh, shit, you know, and then you have some time for like self-reflection and whatnot. And, you know, it might take you a while, but this guy might be able to pull through and have a productive career still on something. Once he kind of figures out what he likes and what he wants to put his energy into, you could have a very productive career. So, you know, that's not a bad thing. That ain't a bad thing, but ain't a bad. I really wish I could just fucking. Okay, here we go.
It felt very humiliating, and it felt so public and inescapable to me because of how much I cared about the way people thought about me and my audience and YouTube. This whole thing was so all-consuming, and I literally never stopped worrying about it. This is really giving like feel bad for me, but it's it's part of the story. I
don't think that's I don't necessarily think that that's true. I'm not really picking up the vibe where he's like feel bad for me. I'm kind of just picking up the vibe that, you know, he's being honest. I don't think this video is meant to make you feel bad for him. I think that there might be parts of the story that he tells that might make people feel bad for him. But I don't think that the intention of this video is like, hey, feel bad for me, man. I think the intention of this video is just kind of like trying to talk about themselves, you know, in a way that they feel is productive. So
ended up even distancing,
which I mean, I'm not saying it's unproductive. I don't think it's terrible or anything.
Myself from most of the friends that I still had, because I just felt like they saw me differently after everything happened. And even the friends that I still had, when I talked to them, they just had to listen to me obsess over these feelings for months because there was nothing else that I would feel.
Dude, it's so weird because like fuck, I didn't mean to do that. It's so weird because like I've been in scenarios where like, you know, you just talk, sometimes you just talk about your shit too much. It's like, shut the fuck up, you know, but it is what it is,
you know. And that sounds crazy because
like your fucking real life friends don't necessarily want to sit here and hear you talk about all your dumbass shit that you like, your online stuff. It's something that you got to keep in mind.
Like there's a lot more to life, and of course there is, but not for me. It was all that I could think about, and it made me a really bad person to be around. And ironically, this was pretty much what I was trying to do to the YouTubers that I made that video about in the first place, and now it was happening to me. And not just me, but other close people to me in my life who did not do anything wrong. And I was responsible for it, and it was too late for me to do anything to make things better. It didn't matter how aware I was of the embarrassing things that I said and I did. This is how people knew me now. And I grew to really hate that person and hate that I had his face and his name. Every time I met people in real life.
Dude, just do what Epstein did. Just get your face transplant. I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. I'm joking. It's a joke to YouTube. Please don't fucking ban me, dude. Fuck. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke, bro. It's a fucking joke, dude.
I worried about whether or not...
Come on, liberals. It's a fucking joke. You know what I'm saying?
They knew about all the worst mistakes I made and all the awful things that people said about me online. The past 3 years were filled to the brim with content, but of course this year looked a lot different. Every single video that I...
Yeah, man. You missed the content of the year. The Hassan Parker versus H3, dude. Fuck.
Worked on and put out felt like this huge hurdle that resulted in panic and fear and embarrassment. And suddenly this thing that I grew up wanting to do, that I loved doing more than anything else, just made me feel a lot of pain. And it made me feel very distant from the people that...
How old is this guy anyway?
...supported and enjoyed what I was doing in the first place. I tried putting out this new series called Now Alert.
26, wow.
That I put a lot of creative effort into and that I worked on with a lot of talented people. But after 2 videos, I really felt horrible about it and I stopped. They obviously weren't received as well as the videos that I used to make, and even though I was proud of them on a surface level, it felt like it was tainted by everything else that had happened. I tried making...
I mean, if you like doing it, maybe just stop worrying about the views.
Some other classic commentary videos, and those really performed horribly. And suddenly,
damn,
I went from
40,000 views is horrible, guys. Fuck.
Worrying about, 100,000 views to worrying about whether or not 30,000 people would watch what I wanted to make. Which, sounds fine. Like 30,000 people still want to watch everything you do. That's great. But when your standard is so much bigger than that, anything under it feels like you're a complete failure.
True, I get that. At the same time, though, it's like, how do people know you're not a failure? So, if you're making shit, or you made like a shit content, right? You made like a shit video. You made like a stupid asshole shit video. You acknowledge that. If you made a bad video, how are people going to know that you're not like bad anymore? I guess you could say. Like, how do people know that you're not terrible anymore unless they see the video that's decent? And so like sometimes that's what happens, man. People leave because you make a mistake or you say something they don't like, and then sometimes you just keep pushing on. Oh fuck, what the hell? You keep pushing on, and then people come back and go like, oh, you know what, like I'm over it, let me get back to the content that I enjoyed from this person in the first place. But you have to produce content. They're not going to go back and like, oh man, I wonder how Nick's doing. It's more of like oh shit, like I haven't seen Nick in a while, I saw him on my For You page today. It's more of one of those.
It wasn't, 30,000 people want to watch what I'm putting out online. It's 90% of the people that watched me before do not care anymore. I felt like I was truly successful for the first time in my life. I felt like my parents could be really proud of the son that they...
Damn, dude. We got, what is the guy's name? What's that fucking weirdo that said Caleb Hammer fucking groomed him or whatever? Who is that fucking freak? Oh, now I understand what's happening. Who is that weirdo? The Noah? He's Noah-ing us.
Erased. And I felt like my job was a way that I could support myself and even my family in the future. And very quickly, all of that went away. And the hardest part was that there was nobody else to put blame on besides myself. And I think that most YouTubers who go through big controversies end up having no problem persisting through the hate and continuing to post until people forget and move on to the next thing. But unfortunately, I am not that kind of person. Knowing how people felt.
Yeah, I don't think like every YouTuber is like that though. It's not really a matter of like, oh, whatever. I mean, for some people it is. I think most YouTubers get distressed when they get criticism. Nobody wants to be a fucking asshole on the internet. I think most people get distressed in some capacity. It's more of just kind of having to push on through it, do your best of your ability. And I think that that's part of it is like your resolve moving through it. Because it's tough for everybody, man. It's not like it's a one-off. It's tough for everybody. It sucks. Like nobody wants to be fucking hated. Who the fuck wants to be hated? No, nobody wants to be fucking hated. Kind of have to just move on through it, man.
It's about me, and looking at it every day completely crumpled my confidence, and I could not work or post or do anything through any of it. From now on, when my parents or my friends or my fans look up my name online, they get to see the type of person that I was and the type of person I was willing to be.
I mean, it moves on. You have to just put more stuff out there, man. That's like more meaningful. You know, stop focusing on the on that shit.
Felt so unbelievably bad about what I did,
Come on, dude.
but
Fuck
like,
my mom's ass.
did it even matter at this point?
Did he?
Did I only feel bad because I had to face the consequences for what I did?
It's a good question. I mean, if everybody validated you on it, you probably wouldn't have changed. I think sometimes that just needs to happen, though. You got to get your fucking ass beat, and then you're like, damn, I was wrong. And now I realize why. Sometimes you got to get your ass kicked a little bit. You know, there's a difference between getting your shit handed to you and saying what you feel like people want to say versus getting your shit handed to you and like actually thinking about it and being like, oh, you know what? This was wrong. Well,
I mean, I don't think I would have felt the way that I do about this now if I didn't lose everything. And I still think I struggle with the fact that no matter what I say, a lot of people still aren't going to think it's genuine, and for good reason too. So back to business.
I think it's just time to move on, man, and make some content you believe in and engage in a new strategy. You're not in the in anymore, and I think part of that new strategy is to like not even just get in the in, like make new content and just make different new content and put it up and engage differently. Like I think that he kind of was in a moment where all of his content was like self-fulfilling. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but his content was just kind of like self-engaging, or it was good in the algorithm, and so it took priority over other things that may not have that weren't as good. Might be time to just kind of start again, get shitty views, and then like make clips. You know, I know it sounds silly. I know I always say that, and it's like fucking cringe or whatever. But like also sometimes it's really just the truth. Sometimes you just need to get your shit together, and you need to fucking make clips, and you need to like get yourself out there and find new audiences, and not just rely on the way the algorithm used to work. And keep in mind, maybe you're not, it's not going to be easy this time, and that's okay. It's going to be easier than it was for anybody else that's just started. So
after the extreme success that Queef Jerky saw the year prior, we had a big album planned and a whole countrywide tour planned for that summer. Now, internally, I felt really worried about this whole thing because I was really unprepared to be in front of a bunch of people in real life for the first time in a really long time. I expected to be back posting YouTube videos by now and be able to promote it and sort of have fun with the whole thing, but it kind of just became really scary to me, despite how much I wanted to do it, because I love touring and I love Queef Jerky, and it was really the only thing that I was looking forward to all year. So we ended up going through with it despite.
Hey, listen, I like a good queef sometimes too, baby.
How terrified I was of how people were going to see me, and the fact that there were a lot of people out there who did not like me and had direct access to what location I was going to be at for a month. The tour ended up having a lot of highs and lows, but it was really this positivity and passion that the Queefers brought to the shows that truly made me happier than I had felt.
The Queefers is just fucking crazy.
In such a long time. And maybe the happiest I've ever felt, like ever. This tour was my favorite thing I've ever done for my job. And after doing this, I really knew that touring and performing music was something that I wanted to do forever.
I mean, that's good. It's a little band nerdy, but that's good. I mean, I can appreciate that.
A lot of really exciting things planned for the band once the tour was over. But when I got back to Los Angeles, a lot of the bad feelings came back. And a few months later, I actually moved out of Los Angeles. My relationship ended and the band broke up. You know, I don't...
Damn, what the fuck? That's crazy. I wonder what happened to make it end. What do you guys think happened? I don't know. That sucks. It is what it is, man. Sometimes it don't be working out, you know?
Want to talk about the personal details for obvious reasons, but it is the saddest life decision I've ever had to make, to leave Los Angeles and say goodbye to my home and my pets and the best friend that I've ever had. Sometimes
your pets, what the fuck? I wonder if his girlfriend was his best friend. A loser? No, I'm just kidding. That's with my wife too. I feel you, but that's rough, man.
There's so much weight tied to
Is that why it broke up? Because he left? I'm confused.
Certain time in your life. And no matter how hard you try to
I do have a lot of weight.
Heal from it and move on, those horrible feelings don't go away, and the cycle never ends. So yeah, I started over. I moved back to Illinois, and now I live in this apartment in Chicago. And through all of this, I feel really bad that the people that continued to support me through the tour never got any sort of thank you or goodbye for how special they were to me and Dev. Yo, my bad.
Yay. That's it.
You guys were such a huge part of our lives, and you gave us so much love, and it just kind of ended out of nowhere without any reasoning or explanation.
Still gay, but okay.
And I'm really sorry for that. I
can appreciate what you're saying. Still cringe.
Hold on to all the gifts and the letters we got.
You should really just have to get a real job. He's not cut out to be a content creator. Why do you think why do you guys think that? What makes you think that he's not cut out to be a content creator? I don't really understand. I'm so confused. Like, it's fine to make fun of him or whatever and not like him, but he probably could be successful. He just needs I don't think it's a matter of you know, being necessarily likable at this point for him. I think it's more of a matter of like learning the new landscape that's like a little bit different and engaging in a different content strategy that won't be as easy as it was the first time. I think that's more of what it is. Because I mean, there's a lot here, but part of it's that he's been gone for a while, so he doesn't really have the audience to the same degree necessarily for like the regular content. You know, this is his "I'm back" video, and it did 40K views, and that's not horrible, but like he was expecting a lot more out of this, and there's probably a level of him that feels like that was a loss in some capacity. But you know, and then part of it said he lost his edge, which isn't even a bad thing, you know, like but he lost his edge. Like, what was he doing before? He was like, to some degree, I think that this video communicates that he was being kind of a bully in some instances. You know, people like that shit. They're toxic. So he lost his edge a bit, and he'd have to get his edge back, or not even get his edge back. It's like, you know, you have to kind of find an audience that doesn't really want an edge. The audience that just wants like somebody that's like a little normal and not like super terminally online. So I think he could still do his shit.
I still remember
he should make videos by H3. True.
Conversations I had with so many of you on tour, and I'll truly never forget how much all of that changed my life. I feel like Queef Jerky weirdly like made me a person that I'm so much prouder to be because of the fans and because of Dev, and I just like I'm like very grateful for it, but it is hard to like watch it go. After tour, I felt this like big inspiration to start making music that is like meant to be played live, meant to be enjoyed in a crowd with a bunch of people, because I felt the energy so strongly on tour, and I just wanted to lean into that. When I moved out of Los Angeles in October, I decided to go to Germany to live with my friend for a month to produce this solo album.
That's a lot. That's a big decision
that I've been working on for a little bit over a year now. I always struggled making these long-term projects, but this album and this world that we've been building is something that I truly have just put my all into, and I'm so proud and excited for people to see it. Truly, the end goal of all of this is for me to be able to tour the country again with all of my friends, and this is the first step to making that happen. And by the time this video is out, my first music video and single for my new project called Face Eater should be out now for everybody to watch. That's crazy to finally say.
I guess I just don't understand how these fucking things work, man, because it just seems so weird to me. But hey, good for him for having the passion and enjoying music.
There's so much more to enjoy this year coming soon, but I hope you enjoy the song and everything that we've been putting together. I swear this entire video is not just promo for my music. I didn't just cry on camera just to promote my song. I swear you have to believe me. I still have more to say, okay? Rewind back to before I moved. I tried starting another channel that was for me reacting and talking about different albums. But once I moved, I had this feeling that I wanted to just stop posting altogether. And I just got off the internet. Okay, so it's been a few weeks since I recorded the last portion of the video. And so now I'm back to do the outro. Okay, so back in October when I was in Germany, I made the official decision to quit YouTube. Hang it up. I was retiring.
Damn, is that it? Or is he actually coming back now? I'm confused.
At the time, I think that I was just at a point where I felt like YouTube dictated so much of my life and how I felt on a day-to-day basis. And I just felt...
Well, I mean, that is a job, so...
like, I couldn't let it make me sad anymore. So I was like, I'm done. And then I moved to Chicago in like February. And as I began my life again, I just felt this primal urge inside of me to make videos again.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's probably more of the primal urge to want money. Yeah, I mean, he seems to be good at making content, so it makes sense that he would want to do that again. It's, you know, it's nice to it do be nice to make a livable wage, beyond a livable wage, guys. You wouldn't understand if you work at McDonald's, of course, even if you are making record profits for your company. But you know, me personally, my advice to you: try not to take off any days. You know, try not to take any days off that could hurt the profit margin. You know, so maybe just don't ever take a day off. You know, honestly, you want to make sure you maximize shareholder profit. I think that's really important for young people to understand. You know, maximize that shareholder profit, baby. Maximize it. Part of the way you are, I mean, really, you kind of are every day, because I don't know if you noticed, they don't really give any pensions anymore or any profit sharing anymore. Any of these companies, they just kind of tell you go fuck yourself and eventually die. So you can kind of take solace in the fact that if you're working for a company, you're just your existence is providing so much value to their company by you getting paid like shit. And so like you can really take some pride in building that company with your blood, sweat, and tears. And lack of access to healthcare. So God bless you.
I don't really know. I just kept thinking about video ideas and things that I wanted to talk about online, and I missed it a lot. And I knew it was going to be like really uncomfortable to initially get back into it, but I didn't want to just like give up on it forever. The people needed me. Think about all the bad stuff that's happened in the world since I stopped making YouTube videos. I don't really know how I'm going to feel when this video comes out. I could just post like one more time and then be like, no, this sucks. But I want to try. I really want to try. And more importantly, I want to go back to YouTube with a new goal in mind, which is who cares? Like, who cares? I spent so long putting pressure on myself to do something bigger and more important, but it's YouTube. It's youtube.com. It's really not that serious. These are literally YouTube videos. Whether I want to make a bunch of dumb videos about dumb guys, or if I want to talk about like all my new hobbies that I've acquired since not being on YouTube, I'm just going to try to do it and have fun doing it. Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the plan. No algorithm. Just a good time. But now that I have the Face Eater project to kind of put my creative energy into, I feel like I can just relax. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know. If you're here and you watched till the end of the video, thank you. And if you've stuck around the past few years to just watch me ramble at the camera, double thank you. Whatever happens, it was an honor to be a part.
Guess we just get a regular thank you here.
Of your life in some twisted, fucked up way. And I'm really hoping that we get to see more of each other soon. Okay, that's it. Watch my new music video. Goodbye.
All right. I mean, that wasn't a bad video. I really don't have anything to say negatively. It's pretty solid. It was some solid stuff. It was like a solid poop. Like a really good poop that you think about the whole day and like you even talk about the next morning, you know, or the reflection. So beautiful stuff.